Right, and I think we're live. We are about 10 minutes early. So we'll see if this one fills up. The one this morning, they didn't get many people unannounced doing a 7 a.m. So it's really not a good time slot. The ones in the afternoons tend to do best. And if I announce them, I don't know if it matters or not. But a reminder for those of you who are watching these after the fact, because that's most of you, please remember to subscribe to my channel below. Please join my Orc Army with the channel memberships. Follow me on Instagram and use my Amazon affiliate link. I would appreciate it so much. All right, see, this is filling up way faster. It took me 2 minutes to get to this many people on the one I did this morning. But this is a free day for me. I got caught up on my work by 6 a.m. I was done working. Everything I need to do for clients other than just look at videos and answer questions through the day. So I have easily had the time to do 2 of these today. Everything's caught up. Business is good. Though I had someone saying the thing, hey, I'm glad you're making money finally at YouTube. I don't make that much money at YouTube now. My YouTube channel used to make well over 50 grand a year when I did drama stuff. Doesn't make that anymore. My coaching makes a lot more than that. That's my real business is coaching. The YouTube is really just, my advertising hub for all of it, my way to have outreach, my way to educate people who, can't afford coaching and, just continue to do my thing. So I'll get to questions in a minute, but the first question I have is actually about someone I've literally never heard of. So that's not going to be useful at all. Not going to be helpful to anybody for me to say, I've never heard of Eugene Tio. Sorry. So up to about 17 people here, 19 at the 2-minute mark. So hopefully we get some good questions. The only thing is I have a timer set to where you have to be subscribed for 5 minutes before you can post, which has been helpful. That means every single live stream I do, my subscriber count has gone up. This is actually helping my channel grow, which is a good thing. I'm drinking all my electrolyte water. For those curious, I do a lot of electrolyte loading right now. Even though I'm back on keto, carbs are back down, I am drinking at least 1.5 gallons of water a day at the moment. Not quite what I did on my water load. Not quite the same, but pretty similar. But I'm keeping all my electrolytes super high, and I'm noticing it makes a difference with just fullness and fatigue and everything. JB, what's different in the way you coach and program between your natty and enhanced guys? I used to coach them different. Now I don't. I don't see the point. I used to give more leeway for volume for my enhanced guys, right? Humanity, don't ask me stupid ass questions like that, bro. Come on, this is a training channel. But as far as natty versus enhanced guys, I used to give them more leeway for volume because they can recover more. But here's the thing I realize the longer that I coach, you have a larger margin for error on programming for guys who are on drugs. But if you coach them and program them the exact same way you do a drug-free lifter, the drugs still continue to have amazing results. So realistically, I don't think that we need to coach them differently. I don't think that we need to coach or program them differently. They just have more wiggle room for recovery. They can grow on less volume and they can recover from higher volumes, right? It gives you a broader target and it lets you make more mistakes. That's the big advantage. And they gain muscle quicker. That's the real difference too. They simply gain muscle faster. So that being said, if you just train them like a natural, guess what happens? The drugs still make them grow really, really, really fast. Okay, and it's that simple. I think we need to bring back the +5 hat of no, we don't, Chaser. I don't want to do that anymore. I don't know how to be more clear on that. People didn't like it. It was confusing. They didn't understand the stick, right? They didn't understand it, and it created confusion. My channel is better without it. And I'm keeping it simple now, vlogs and live streams. And I'm going to have 11 clients now who want to vlog at this point. So between that, my training vlogs, and doing live streams, we've got everything this channel needs, right? Do you think bagels with cream cheese are junk food? Are they good pre-workout snack? I don't really know how to answer that. It's really dependent upon the context of your entire diet, honestly. I think bagels with cream cheese for a hard gainer are probably pretty good. For someone like me, I'll be 300 pounds eating that because I will eat 5,000 calories of them in one sitting. So it depends on the person. How does sports approach the growing debate of trans athletes? I really don't want to get into that debate on this platform. I don't want to get canceled. It should be pretty obvious how I feel about the situation. Just look at my views on social norms and traditional gender roles. It shouldn't be hard for you to figure out how I feel about it. Hey, Jason, hope you're doing well. Can't wait to get smarter about strength. Also, today is Ziz's birthday. Well, unfortunately, he's a young man who burned out early. And I think it's very sad, honestly. And I hate that people say that was Ziz. They're like, yeah, but he got so much pussy. It's like, no, he couldn't have. He died at 23. There's no way he got that much pussy. There's no way. The average guy my age had sex 10 times as many times as he has. The average guy. So, like even that thing doesn't make sense when people say that. He died at 23. He didn't live life yet. And I think it's very tragic and sad. Bravin, who I've done a few consultations with. Hey, brother, I'm considering doing 3-2-1 with the 90, 9,500 training max. I was wondering if warming up would be similar to the conjugate with singles, or you'd recommend percentages. Bravin, look at how I'm doing it. I'm actually doing it with singles. I'm doing 80, 85% on singles to ramp up. Opinions on foam rolling. If it makes you feel good, do it. The data suggests it doesn't do that much, and it really doesn't. I don't really foam roll much anymore. Occasionally my upper back. But, if it feels good, do it. You're getting a placebo from it, and placebo works. Hey, Jason, how are you today? I'm good. It's a lazy day for me. That's why I'm doing 2 of these. I am so ahead on work, and it's a non-training day. I drug my sled at 4 a.m., and I've already walked to Costco and did my whole with my weight vest on, brought back food. My clients are all caught up. I don't have anyone to update. So it's just kind of a lazy day. I'm chilling. So I'm doing 2 of these. No more Chuck Basher rants. Nope, not going to happen. I can dislike that person and his history without trash talking them. See how easy that is? Do you think there's enough free info on your channel for someone to make good gains, assuming intermediate lifter natty with average genetics? Humanity's Heroes. There are people, if you listen to some of these live streams or look at the posts, there are people who have gotten to 500 plus pound squats and 600 plus pound deadlifts purely from the information gained on my channel. So yes, there's enough information on my channel if you were to spend a lot of hours digging into it and really take it all in to get you to elite numbers, not intermediate, but elite. So just putting that out there. For a natty, do you think it's beneficial to do 5+ full body workouts a week, controlling? No, I think that's a bad idea. I don't have a single client who gets under a barbell more than 3 to 4 times a week, Joe. So what does that tell you? And this is the people who are paying me to give them the best results possible. They are paying me. And they're paying me a lot of money when you add up all the clients. I don't have them do that. So what does that tell you? John, I appreciate the donation. Shout out to Jason for having the strongest redemption arc in YouTube history. A lot of people have said that. And yeah, I mean, it's been a hell of a journey, hasn't it? JB, taking advice you gave me 2 days ago in terms of doing body weight chin-ups and way you advise barbell curls, first workout with that today. Yeah, your biceps will grow from that. Like look at Isaac or Brett's biceps. Right? 2 of my clients. Look at Louis' biceps. We don't do a lot of variation for them. The bicep is not a complex muscle. You just have to load it. and you need to load it through its functions, and that involves elbow and shoulder movement. How often would you suggest someone have a cheat day? Depends on the person, Daniel. My last cheat days were at Christmas and at my meet after weigh-in. So for me, that's what, every 3 months? Coach, do you consider Alec and Kiri strong 100 plus squatter at 160? Of course he is. Why would you need to ask that? Like, that's kind of a silly question, because a 500 squat is a baseline strength. Like, it doesn't matter what you weigh. If you can squat 500 plus pounds, you're strong. I don't care what you weigh. What up, Jason? I am currently 240 pounds. What chin-ups would be better, 5x5 with a 45-pound vest or 12x5? I would rather you do 5 sets of 12 with your body weight. King, do your heavy work on the deadlift. Do your heavy pulls with deadlifts. All right. Chin-ups are a hypertrophy movement. Treat them as such, unless you're going to compete in the chin-up, in which case most of your work should still be for hypertrophy, but you need a couple of heavy sets a week if you're going to compete at it competitively. Keeping in mind, I know plenty of guys who tear biceps on weighted chins. So think if it's worth it to you or not. You have a higher, people worry about tearing their biceps on deadlifts, but they'll do heavy weighted chins or they'll do underhand grip rows. Which ones do you think statistically is more likely to tear your bicep? Do you think the U.S. could benefit from more amateur sports teams like Europe for average Joes to keep it fit and quench the competitive spirits into middle age? Actually, that's a good idea. I think it would, because competition gives us a reason to stay fit. Right. And that's the problem in America. We don't have real amateur sports that are that popular. We do, but it's not like Europe. You are right. I think it would help a lot. All right. I think it would help a lot. Maybe that's why we need to push stuff like powerlifting and strongman and things like that into the general public more. You know, what would happen if 10% of the population competed in those sports? How much would that change our disease demographic? I'm tall with long arms and fail to bench about 6 to 8 inches off my chest. Any idea of what my weakness could be? I mean, probably your pecs. Probably your pecs at that point. You know, but here's the thing. Keep getting bigger and stronger. I mean, you could worry about weak points and movements to correct weak points, or you could just keep getting bigger. Getting your primary movers bigger has never made a lift weaker. Hi, Jason. I've upped my calories by 300 to lean bulk, but I still feel hungry a lot. Should I eat more? No, eat higher satiety foods and drink more water. You need to eat the calories that you need to eat towards your target goals and ignore your appetite. You need to find ways to ignore your appetite, meaning for guys who struggle to eat, you need to eat when you're not hungry. And guys who eat too much, you need to learn to pick foods that don't make you so hungry that you're ravenous all the time, which is what I have to do. What's up, Jason? Haven't tuned into your channel for 3 or 4 years. Glad you did well at your meet and turned your life around. Hope your girlfriend adult. Bro, that's kind of a below the belt hit if you actually know the backstory. You do know that I broke up with her 4 years ago. She was a drug addict and a troll killed my dog. One of these crazy trolls from the internet killed my dog. So FYI. Wouldn't twice a week frequency, 5 sets, 2 times a week, still be more quality volume than once a week? 10 set. Jesus Christ, that's complicated. I'm just going to skip that. Is it true that an old man would still make more gains than a young woman, even though his testosterone is suboptimal? Is it a perfect argument for old men that start lifting is never too late? No, they're not going to make more gains, but they can still make gains, and they should make gains. Look, you need to start lifting. If you're old, you need to get under a barbell. It will help slow down age. Do you think that doing incline dumbbell curls would be preferable compared to barbell curls? No, I don't necessarily think so. Brett, Orc Warrior client and vlogger of mine. Channel, people chase aesthetics, but in my experience, anytime I have had at least 400-pound squat and 550 plus deadlift, I can't help but fill up my clothes and look like I lift. Yeah, and Brett, you do look like you lift. Everyone notices it. Everyone notices it. And what do we do for Brett? We focus on squat, bench, deadlift, pull-ups, some curls. Right now, some dips. GHR is belt squats. That's what he does. Guy's walking around 240 jacked. Because you guys can see his vlogs. And, exactly the point. JV, they have men's league for basketball, but they're difficult to get to, and they should advertise them more for other sports. So, yeah, I agree. Is that your gaming headset, Coach? Yes. Yes, it is a gaming headset, but I haven't been gaming in it for years. I just use gaming headsets for everything because I find them more comfortable. Like for when I'm doing my work at my desk, I can hear better. Keep in mind, I'm hearing impaired, so these big things help me a lot. I've injured the area where the tricep long head meets the scapula, tears major minor twice now, once on shins and once on behind the head, tricep extensions. Maybe an imbalance or tightness. It's probably overuse. You're doing too much volume on those movements. Frequency, average time, and heart rate on GPP. You're overthinking GPP. You're overthinking it if you're at that level of extreme thinking about it. Get your heart rate up, drag a sled, flip a tire. You don't need targets like that. Just get in shape. Smash that like button. Absolutely. Hit that button, guys. All of you, there's 62 of you in here, and there's only 14 likes. Hit that button. What's the problem, guys? Get on top of it. What's wrong with you people? There we go. Them likes are coming up. I know you said your old videos should be ignored, but a lot of your old videos have really good information. It's still beneficial to say that's true, but I feel like it's gotten better. And what happens is that people will find a 5-year-old video and say, but it disagrees with something you made last year. Which one should I follow? See, the obvious answer is the newer one. The biggest realization I had as a novice and 18-year-old was not to push too hard. Only live 3 days a week, and the gains have been real. Exactly. Coach, does sexual activity affect on training? Yeah, it can improve your endurance. Right? It's good cardio. What is the best way to main gain? Been watching Greg Doucette is a con man, Egg. Main gaining, and every coach out there will tell you that main gaining, it doesn't work. Everyone who tries it, you'll get tons of people like, I tried it, I didn't gain anything. You see the problem? It doesn't work. The best way to main gain is to not main gain and to actually bulk. Like everyone has successfully done, including Greg Doucette. He didn't get to his size main gaining. He got to his size by bulking bigger than he is now on lots of steroids and then cutting down later. What happened to Jack's vlogs? Miss seeing them since we're the same build. Jack got too busy to do the vlogs with school. I'm still coaching him, but he doesn't even always get all his workouts in. His school has gotten really intensive, and he doesn't have the time to film and upload enough for the vlogs. And that's okay. I got a ton of new people who want to vlog. Like a lot of my even longtime clients stuff, hey, they want to start vlogging now. So I have like 3 people in the next week who are going to have vlogs up who you guys haven't seen vlog before. Jason, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. Would never bring that up. Didn't know what's happened. Now I feel pretty bad. Daniel, it's okay, bro. A lot of people weren't aware of that. And I did try to press charges. I know who killed my dog. It's a guy named Alex Rosin. He admitted to it, but I couldn't get him arrested for it. And I pressed charges against a guy for trespassing and other stuff already before. But yeah, he admitted to it online. He actually murdered my dog. And he has collabed with Eric Konevsky and other people. So therefore, I don't want anything to do with those people. But yeah, he's an evil piece of shit. Squats, rows, overhead press, B, deads, bench, pull-ups 3 times per week, ABVA. Gordon, why don't you just follow any of the written programs, novice programs that are already out there? Why do you need to try to write your own? You didn't give a progression or anything. Okay. They're free programs. I have plenty of them. Strong lift, starting strength, they're all free. You don't need to write your own novice programs. Why would you? Why not run something that's proven? Jason, do you think a late novice, early intermediate 16-year-old would make better gains on conjugate or 5-3-1 even if they had specialty bars and bands? Well, whether it's going to depend on their mindset. It's going to depend on their mindset. It's going to be psychological at that point. How are they built mentally? JB, do you still recommend weighted carries, seeing good benefits from it? Yeah, I think weighted carries are great. Thanks, brother. What about programming overload GBP over long periods of time? If there's a general upward trend, it's good. But at a certain point, if you reach a certain level of being in shape and you just keep doing that same amount of GPP, you're going to maintain it, right? You're going to maintain it. Hey, coach, do you think 4 by 10 once a week is too much for an exercise in terms of preventing overuse? No, that's fine. Even you could do 10 sets of the same exercise if that's all you really do for that movement. Right? If all you do for your chest is bench, you could do 10 sets once a week and you're not going to have real overuse. Okay. It's when our volumes start getting really high. Thoughts on BPC 157 for healing injuries? I know people who've had really good luck with it, including a guy who tore his bicep from weighted chin ups. By the way, speaking of the other issue there, I've known people who had good results. I have no personal experience with it. I've never used it. I know other coaches and athletes who have used it and had good luck. I've had a client use it with decent luck. So it does seem to work. Do you think hook grip for deadlifts and pulling movements should be standard? No, not necessarily. Not everyone is built to hook grip. If you're able to hook grip, if you have really long thumbs, I think learning to hook grip would be a great idea for deadlifts, but not for your other pulling movements. You shouldn't be doing it on rows and pull-ups. Do you need to train abs? I think it's a good idea, yes, because abs can be your weak link. I do ab work. Bro, you see me do ab work on camera, right? You've seen me do quite a bit. So what do you think I think about ab work? Have you seen a lot of my clients do ab work in their vlogs? Yes. So let me ask you the question. Do you think I think you need to do it? And the answer is clearly yes. What would you say is the best percentage of body fat to gain muscle? Heard that being too lean will make it almost impossible to gain muscle. Is this true? No, and actually, if you're very lean, it's much easier to gain muscle when you bulk. Right? It's actually, if you're 10% body fat when you start your bulk, your muscle gains are going to be great, but you're going to be gaining some fat with it. That's the main thing. That's the thing that's the give and take. People have to accept that to get big, you are going to have to gain fat. You diet the fat off later. The problem is that guys are at 10% or 11 or 12% body fat and they think they're going to stay there and gain muscle. They think they're going to do it without trend. Now, even Greg Doucette needed trend to do it. So what makes them think that they're going to do it without trend? And here's the funny thing. Even the guys who use the drugs to do it that way, if they actually were willing to bulk, they would gain muscle even faster. Right? Just because they can get away with it doesn't mean it's optimal. Even those guys, if they were willing to gain 5 pounds of fat on their bulk, even when they're blasting trend, they would gain 3 times as much muscle. Hey, coach, just got over the C word, tried resuming my program, but struggling with the weight, so clearly not fully recovered. Do I reduce my weight percentage or just hang fire to recover? You're going to have to reduce your volume. Your work capacity is going to be down. You should be able to handle the heavy weights. And you shouldn't have missed that much time, bro. It's not that bad. I had it. I caught it in the middle of a deload, and you guys saw me doing over 500-pound deadlifts while still having it and coughing stuff up. You're going to struggle with volume, not the weight. And if you're struggling with weight, it's because you allowed yourself to get dehydrated, which is common with viruses. You didn't drink and hydrate enough. Get hydrated and your strength will come back instantly. Sodium, potassium, water. Is it possible I need to cut at 6'8", 94 kilograms, 100 kilograms, somewhere low? No, bro, you're skinny. You're 6'8". Keep bulking. Ziller, one of my orc warriors, do hormone disruptors in our environment, such as microplastics, actually have an effect on us, or are people just trying to sell me something? I think they've way overhyped it. Yeah, I don't want to talk about Kineski though, Benny, but you're right. Any quick tips for hard gainers on how to make clean meals more palatable? Maybe if you're a hard gainer, don't eat so many clean meals. Add more fat to your diet. Hard gainers try to eat too low of fat and too high of fiber. If you just want to eat healthy, start adding more fat to your diet. That's the easiest way to make it all more palatable and to get your calories in easier for a hard gainer. Don't be afraid of dietary fat. Fattier cuts of meat, fattier dairy, peanut butter are your friends. Coach, thank you so much for the motivation. You inspired me to start an online coaching business and have grown to 38 clients at $395 a month. The money is insane, but sure is a lot of work. Wow, that's crazy. You actually are out coaching me with that. People tell me I need to raise my prices, though. Several of my clients have told me that. I can get 475 for a double overhand deadlift. Is that good? Yeah, that's good. You already know that's good. Why do you need to ask? The problem is that's a weak ass deadlift. It's a strong grip because you're double overhand. But here's the thing, Brian, we don't get bonus points for gripping it overhand. So it's still a 475 deadlift. So nobody cares. And I'm not trying to knock your dick in the dirt, but realistically, you know, about weighted carries in the past, you talked about the benefits for conditioning GBP, with doing them heavy, good for muscle strength, up to a point, up to a point. But, it depends on how heavy you really want to go. And even then, GBP is only going to add so much size to you. It's always going to be a secondary stimulus. Do you still make trend? No. Why is Greg's Doucette so popular on YouTube? And what's your opinion of him causing drama with every YouTuber? And what would you do if he made a video about you? If he made a video about me, I would ignore it. Right? I would ignore it, just like I ignore all the videos people make. And anyone who told me that he made one, I would ban them for telling me. Right? Because that's my rule. I don't want to know. So I would just ignore it and go on and continue to do my thing. Hey, Jason, did you watch the Eddie Hall Thor fight? Nope, not interested. I would rather watch them deadlift, which they are good at, than be piss poor boxers. And I know it was a big event, but it's really, that's just a circus show and a joke. Yeah, it was the volume only, missed a few sessions. Cheers, coach. Yeah, exactly. That's what's up when you get a virus like that. Your strength should be okay, but you can't handle the work capacity until you can breathe correctly again. Do you use supplements for brain health and mental performance? Just fish oil, creatine, stuff like that, which have actually been documented to help those things. Do you still recommend double progression? No, I don't. I have for many, many years now recommended concurrent type training. That's what I do for my clients. That's what I do for myself. Hey, coach, do you think increasing drug doses equal increased strength without gaining weight? Thanks. No. Increased drug doses equals more muscle mass, and the muscle mass equals more strength. So no, it will not make you stronger with less weight gain. That's not how it works. I just asked a hook grip question. What is the reason for not hook gripping? Because some people can't grip the bar strong enough on hook grip. All right. I did hook grip for over a year. The heaviest I can hold on to is 550. And after 550, my hook grip gives out. You guys have seen me mixed grip over 600 just fine. That's the problem. Some people don't have long enough thumbs. I have short thumbs. Therefore, hook grip sucks for me. I have one heavy day and one volume day for chin-ups, 3x6 on the heavy day, 5x2 on the volume days. Should I just do, sorry guys, I'm burping again because I've been eating this morning. Should I just do volume on both days and remove the heavy chins? Yeah, I would. I'm not saying you can't occasionally do some heavy 5s and 6s, but most of your days should be volume. It's a hypertrophy exercise. My diet consists of eggs, chicken, milk, protein powder, oats, fruits, and vegetables, rice. Would you change anything, or is it good? No, it's probably fine. Benny, one of my work warriors, y'all saw a YouTube short of some guy downing olive oil like water for his extra calories, and a famous YouTuber said it was good. What's your opinion? That's nasty, dude. I can get 605 deadlift normally without double overhand and 475 double or hip overhand. Sorry for the confusion. All right, Brian, so your deadlift is 605. You don't get bonus points for using an inferior grip. Like nobody cares. It's not a contested lift. Double overhand deadlift is not a contested lift with strength standards. And since the limit is your grip strength, it's just a grip test, But as far as grip strength goes, that is very good. Do you recommend novices on Ice Cream Fitness do touch and go deadlifts? I don't recommend anyone on the face of the earth ever do touch and go deadlifts for any reason. You reset always. No, I'm not going to answer questions about insurance and other stuff. Hey, Jason, how are you? Doing good. Hey, Jason, do you have any thoughts on the JM press performed in a Smith machine recommended by Eric Spoto? For the life of me, I can't figure out why anyone recommends that. Not to take away from Eric Spoto and his accomplishments, but realistically, I don't see the benefit. I don't know why anyone would do that. Maybe he's got an explanation that I don't understand. What do you think about rotating waves on volume work on 5-3-1, like 5x10, 5x5, 3x8, and 3 waves on the big three as back off work? Why? What are you trying to get from it? Do you think you're going to gain more muscle from 3x5 than 5x10, Chris? Okay. Do you think you're going to gain more muscle? Because you're already doing your heavy work. Why do you need the 3x5? What do you hope to accomplish? We're doing the back off work for hypertrophy. Do you honestly think a 3x5 is an optimal hypertrophy protocol for people outside of being ranked novice? So you're making it more complex to get less muscle. You are literally saying, I want to be more complex, but I don't want as many gains, because fuck getting bigger. Complexity is more important than gains. I don't think that's the right approach. I think you should focus on getting gains, right? I train right now to win, right? I'm training to break world records. I'm not training to do what I think might be fun or cool or complex. Same thing for people who hire me. So that's not my mindset. My mindset is never, hey, what's cool? What would be awesome? What would be really complicated for no reason? I don't think that way. So I don't advise that way. I think you should do 5x10, unless you're going to do a whole series of 5x5 at different percentages and run it out for a full wave. And I do that with some clients. Most of my guys do 10s mostly, though. How would you approach an elimination diet for someone with digestive issues with no obvious cause? Brett, I'm a strength coach. I don't do that. I would, if someone had that problem, I would say, hey, I'm going to refer you as my client to a registered dietitian friend of mine who will help you with it while I continue to teach you how to squat and deadlift. Another troll. You're gone, Jovan. Stupidity. Could you guys just stop with the stupidity, please? Okay, we don't need this. You guys already know I apologized for that stuff years ago. Okay, it's been 7 years. Just stop. Hi, Jason. I got down to 150 pounds, but had low sex drive, insomnia, and fatigue. Training felt like shit and gained no muscle. Why was that? Because you're an anorexic and you starved yourself down to 150 pounds. What do you think is going to happen? A grown man who works out starving themselves down to 150 pounds, to the size of a toothpick. What do you think is going to happen? Of course, your testosterone is going to crash. Of course, your thyroid is going to crash. Of course, your dick is going to stop working. Of course, you're going to get depressed. That's what anorexia does. I hope you got help for it, because there is no reason a grown man who lifts should be dieting down to 150 unless you're 5'2". You starved yourself. It's an eating disorder. It hurt you. I hope you learned your lesson and got some help for it. Don't do it again. Bad. 5-3-1 sets on barbell rows. Why? You have deadlifts already for the 5-3-1 sets. Do rows for volume to get bigger. Jason, what's your opinion on silver error techniques like 20 rep squat, breathing pullover squat? I forget which error is which, man. This gets confusing. I did 20 rep squats early on. They work, but I think modern methods work better. I think doing heavy work than pump work, kind of like you guys see me do, whether it's the style I do now or conjugate, I think works just as well. It gives you just as much size as 20 rep squats, but it doesn't destroy you the same way. Okay. Modern training has come a long way since then in understanding programming. But the old 20 rep squats, they work, but they're going to make you puke. And I did that stuff. I did it early on in my first year in the gym. But, that was over 20 years ago. It was a different era. That's how we trained. JB, I know you said some of your younger clients are almost a father figure to them. Would you consider adding that kind of content about being a man to your channel? Cliff, maybe, but I don't know. I think every time I discuss stuff like that, it gets taken out of context and people don't like it. They don't understand it, and it gets a lot of blowback. It gets a lot of blowback from people in Europe and stuff because they don't understand the concept. Like, it gets a lot of hate, and it actually gets people like, oh, you're trying to be a fake tough guy. No, I'm just trying to teach people how to be men. We have a generation of boys raised by single mothers who have no idea how to be a man. But when you try to put content out there, there's negative blowback. I don't know that it's worth it. I think I would rather just stick to strength channels, stick to strength. Thoughts on doing neck work, band face pulls, band pull aparts on off days? As long as you program it and don't have overuse. Yeah, thanks. I watched Greg Doucette and he caused me to have an eating disorder. God, I found you now and I'm bulking. That's exactly. Yeah. I mean, guys like Helmer, they're creating eating disorders. Literally telling young men who need to gain 20 pounds to get bigger that if they don't have a six pack, they're fat. Like, what sort of message is that? Especially, we come back to the point of a generation of boys who don't know how to be men, and they've got this guy telling them crap like that. It creates anorexics. It's harmful. And granted, I get it. We live in a world where obesity is an epidemic, and, that's probably the lesser of two evils, but it still doesn't make it useful and it doesn't make it good. Hi, Jason. On deadlift, do you pull up or pull back the weight? I pull back, but I don't really think about it, honestly. 20 rep squats make you good at doing 20 rep squats. Well, sort of. They get you bigger, Leonard. I mean, I got to a 405 squat doing that, by the way, in less than 2 years in the gym. It took me less than 2 years to squat 4 plates per side. And I did 20 rep squats as part of that. But, it just destroys you. For those who don't know what we mean by the 20 rep squat programs, you take your 12 rep max, you do 10 reps, and then you rest pause all the way to 20, and then you throw up. Hey, Jason, doing Ice Cream Fitness 2.0 chest is a weak point. Should I do anything else? Except benching 3 times a week? Fine. No, that's all you need. The benching is fine. You're a novice. You don't have weak points. Your entire body is a weak point. Okay. Shivan, do you bench press 2 plates per side for reps? Do you squat 3 plates per side for reps? Do you deadlift 4 plates per side for reps? Can you do 10 to 15 pull-ups? Then your whole body is a weak point. Okay, just keep getting bigger. Novices don't have weak points. What would you think about Grayskull LP? How would you go for adding some pulling to balance shoulders? I don't follow that program, so I couldn't tell you. When you met Jeff said, was he a good guy? No, he ran from me. When Jeff Side saw me, he turned and ran. And then he kept his distance, and he seemed he didn't seem very social in general, but maybe he was scared of me because I had told him I was going to bite his nose off. Because he did say he was going to hit me at that expo, and I had said back online, that's cool. After you get done hitting me, I'm going to bite your nose off and spit it back in your face and ruin your modeling career. I like being hit. That shit turns me on. And so he ran when he saw me. Because he was about 160 pounds. Like, his stats online were fake. And I walked in at just as tall as him, as supposedly 6 foot, and I was 230, and he weighed about $160, and he saw me and he just ran. So that was, by the way, like 9 years ago. He might have gotten bigger since then, but yeah, his online stats were fake as fuck. Hi, Jason. I'm soon going to be training on my own at my own house. Should I be concerned about safety, like getting injured and needing help? Yeah, put safety arms on your rack. Get a good rack. Good safeties. Use your safeties. Sensible strength training is a good way to develop good character anyways. I agree with that. Lacey, it's frustrating as a female who wants to date a strong man. The reality is pretty much all women are the ones worth being with want a strong, assertive man. Yep, that's true. That is absolutely true. And that's what the guys get wrong. All these guys are like, oh, women like assholes. No, they don't like assholes. They like strong, assertive men. Okay? That's what most women like. Unless they're crazy. Crazy women may not. But sane ones, that's usually what they go for. 9 out of 10 times. JB, I'd appreciate the content on being a man, and I definitely watch it and hope you do it. Obviously, main focus of the channel is strength. Yeah, Cliff, but I mean, by that same token, I could argue that getting guys focused on strength and the act of voluntary hardship for the purpose of self-improvement will make them better men anyways. All right, Shivan, you already asked that question. I already answered. You're a novice. You don't have weak points. Just keep benching. I pulled my back out today doing a dumbbell squat. I pulled them out my back by swinging the dumbbells. Why are you doing dumbbell squats? Which Rogue half rack did you convert into a full rack? I have the SML 2C, but don't see a conversion kit. Brett, I don't know. I would have to go back 5 years and look at the receipt. Sorry, brother, I can't tell you. I do know that the one I have, I believe the uprights are 90 inches. That much I remember. So you'll have to go look that up. But it's going to get the tallest one that fits in your house. Benny, one of my Orc Warriors, deficit deadlift versus snatch grip deadlift. Which exercise is better? Stimulus to fatigue ratio. Well, the question is, if your volume is appropriate, do you need to spend much time worried about stimulus to fatigue? That's the real question, Benny. Stimulus to fatigue is what you use when you're trying to push the highest volumes you can possibly recover from. But that's not always a good idea to do, is it? From an overuse, overtraining perspective. Obviously, the answer is snatch grip deadlifts, though. If you've done either one, you know that you're stronger at deficit deadlifts than snatch grip. Therefore, it has a better stimulus to fatigue because you're forced to use less weight on the snatch grip, right? Therefore, it's going to have a better stimulus to fatigue. I think you should deadlift. I think a normal conventional deadlift should be your mainstay. And you're doing that as a secondary pull anyways, if you need it. I think I would run from you as well. You look strong. Yeah, fair enough. I'm actually a nice guy, though. Do you use that hex bar in the background, Jason? No, I'm eventually going to throw it in the dumpster. Complete waste of money. If someone eats tuna often, do you think I should be limited? I eat about 3 cans of it a week. Someone asked that this morning, too. Go to the FDA website and look at the mercury content of tuna and look at the safe limits, and that will let you calculate how much tuna you can safely eat a week. Tuna is not a safe food to eat in large amounts because of pollution in the ocean and mercury now. So you've got to be aware of that with larger fish. You might want to stick to stuff like salmon. What is the best program if you only have 45 minutes 3 times a week? Kind of stuff I recommend. You just can trim the volume and rest times down. Thanks for the advice, mate. Should I be bulking or main gaining? You can't main gain. I already said that main gaining doesn't work. Everyone who's ever tried it failed. It's a con from a con man. It doesn't work. Every expert tells you it doesn't work. So the answer is obviously bulking. You cannot main gain. It doesn't do anything. You will gain almost no muscle unless you are blasting trend like the guy who advertises main gaining does. Hey, coach, sorry I had to jump on a call. I'm back, and sorry for asking about non-training questions. Thank you. Let's stick with mostly training, guys. I don't mind an occasional one-off thing, but, keep in mind, most people are here to learn about training. They want to get stronger. They want to get more jacked. They want to get cock diesel. There's an old school word we rarely hear anymore, cock diesel. I was doing 6 days a week push pull legs, but I didn't grow doing that. Now I do 3 days a week full body workouts. How many different exercises? And quit writing your own programs. If you're going to run full body, run a proven program. Follow the amount of exercises in the program exactly as it's written. You shouldn't need to be asking those questions. You need to tell us which program you're running, and there's your answer. You're running My Ice Cream Fitness 5x5. You're running My Ice Cream Fitness 2.0. Are you running strong lifts? Are you running starting strength? Hey, if you're not running one of those, you better have a reason why you pick something else as a novice. Those are all proven programs with thousands and thousands of people who got results on them, and they're free. I only have a power rack and a barbell. How do I train hamstrings? Stiff leg deadlifts. Good mornings. It's crazy that you say Jeff said only weighed 160 to look a lot bigger than that at the time. Yeah, on camera with lighting and Photoshop, and he claims 6 foot. Dude, he is 5'9", $160 back then. I'm saying that as someone who met him in person. Even people who talk about me having small arms, my arms were bigger than his. His arms were about 15 inches. The dude was not big. And he was walking around in a pair of shorts. But, that's the way the internet blows. A lot of these influencers, when you meet them in person, they're either midgets, and that's why they look so stacked like most pro bodybuilders. Like, there's pro bodybuilders who they look massive and you realize they're only 200 pounds. It's like, wait a minute. Then you realize they're 5'3". Or you have the guys who just with good lighting and stuff, they look aesthetic, but once you meet them, then they turn to the side. They're like this thick front of that. Like they're tiny. What weak points would bands and chains address? We don't use bands and chains for weak points. We use them for compensatory acceleration. What are your thoughts on training full body every day? No, absolutely not. Why are you trying to train every day? Stop. You don't need to be training more than 3 to 4 days a week. There's no reason for it. Coach Greg changed his main gain definition to what is basically a normal bulk, which is funny to me. He says that main gaining is 2 pounds a month. So a normal, that's a normal bulk for a novice. Maybe 2 pounds a month. That's called bulking. Jason, what do you think about weighted push-ups if you don't have access to a bench press? Why don't you have access to a bench? If you have a barbell, you can floor press. If you have a barbell, do floor presses and program it the same way you would your bench. Now, as a secondary exercise, I think weighted push-ups have their place. They can be a very good secondary hypertrophy movement. Right? I think Jason doesn't like the Texas method. Right? Yeah, I'm not that big of a fan. There's better intermediate programming. It's very outdated. If I wanted to just maintain strength as an advanced lifter with 5 sets for muscle group a week suffice, yes, but you will need to do at least 1 heavy set a week also, right? You'll need 1 heavy set and probably, 5 total sets with your hypertrophy work added in. You failed to talk about how selenium cancels out mercury molecules, allowing any fish to be eaten safely. Yeah, Joshua, because you made that bullshit up. JB, how often do you get medicals and blood work? That is not your business. What's up with some of the evidence-based people being, do you even list? Why don't they apply their knowledge? I've asked that same question many, many, many times. Many times. I don't know. I have friends who are like that, and I ask them the same question. If you guys know so much, why are you not strong and jack? Kind of a problem, isn't it? I remember the Matt Ogus, Chris Jones, Jeff Sight era way back. Yep, that was the era I started YouTube in. They all looked massive and shredded, but only weighed about 155 pounds stage weight and got dwarfed on stage. Yep, because these guys were famous influencers. They weren't serious competitors. They were internet sensations. Other than Chris Jones is actually, I don't always agree with his training methods, but Chris is actually bigger than you guys would think. I'm friends with Chris. Hey, Jason, are push-ups good for GPP? Not by themselves, maybe as a circuit. Don't have a barbell. Well, why don't, KY to 87, you're asking the wrong questions. If you want to train, instead of wasting time worried about push-ups, you need to find a way to buy a barbell and some plates. Okay? Go dig a ditch, get a second job, do something to earn the money. Okay? You've got to have 10 extra hours somewhere in the week. You could pick up a second job, go make some money, and get a barbell and some plates. What does your daily schedule generally look like? Notice you seem to start your days very early. I start my days early. My schedule varies day to day because it depends on whether it's a training day or not, right? It really depends on if it's a training day because that affects my schedule. But yeah, I get up and work sometimes at 3 or 4 in the morning. Like today, I finished all of my work by 6 a.m. Literally all my work was done for the day by 6 a.m. That's not normal. That's how the day went. So that's why I did 2 of these and did conditioning work between, because the only other stuff I did besides eating, cooking, conditioning work, was these two things here. All right. I went shopping in my weighted vest. Everyone in my gym is main gaining. The whole gym, they all look underweight and watch Greg. Yes, exactly. When do you do your explosive work like box jumps on off days? I haven't been doing it that much lately, to be honest. A lot of times I would used to do it on off days or do it at the end of workouts. I haven't been doing many plyos right now. especially since I started cutting. I need the recovery to go towards other stuff. Hey, coach, I'm a closer grip bencher for my floor press work. Should I close grip, greater specificity, or wide grip, greater chest activation? I mean, if you're going to compete with a closed grip, you should probably use more specificity with it. Jason, is P90X a good GPP workout? I suppose. Do you still like Omar Issoff? I know he was one of the rare YouTubers you liked. I don't even know what he's doing anymore, honestly. Cliff, I haven't kept up with any YouTubers in years now. I don't even know what they're doing, and I don't really care. Because again, here's the thing. Most of these guys aren't serious coaches. They're influencers. And if they're not serious coaches who coach for a living, what are they going to have of value to say to anyone, including me? I don't care what they do. They're not going to teach me anything. Right now, if I have a guy who has trained 15 people to a 700-pound deadlift, I'm going to listen to what he has to say, because he may know more than me. I don't have 15 700-pound deadlifters. He does. Therefore, he might have some knowledge that I don't have. I should pay attention. But, what in the fuck is Omar Issoff going to teach anybody? The guy barely ever got to a 500 squat and then tore his labrum and then got weak or whatever. And I don't know what he's doing these days. I mean, what's he going to teach you? Hey, coach, good tips, meals for cutting when having a naturally big appetite and extremely busy with studies and work. Thanks in advance. You just have to stay full, bro. You have to eat lots of vegetables, drink lots of water. You could try keto. You could try different things. But, it's going to be about satiety. You're going to have to find any one of those dietary approaches that work. The things that everyone else does to control appetite. There's a reason all these methods are popular. Is the argument that tofu increases estrogen, decreases testosterone BS? Look, we make fun of soy stuff because it's a political meme. It's not actually true, maybe. Jesus loves you. Well, yeah, I know Jesus loves me. I'm a Christian. But that's not the purpose of this channel, bro. Are you doing upper, lower 2 times a week? What? No. Brian, my vlogs are up every week. You can see what I'm doing. I have a squat, bench, and deadlift day. Coach, how much of my home should I dedicate to serious home gym? How much space did you allocate for yours, and do you recommend to your lifters? Jeff, that's completely personal. It's dependent upon your home, your lifestyle. I don't have any recommendations at all. That is very personal to your situation as an individual. And what someone else did is completely irrelevant to what you should do. I don't know what your family situation, your home situation is. I think you should allocate 50% of your house to your gym. See what I mean? So if you followed my lifestyle, that's what you'd be doing. And your wife might get really pissed at you. Do you have a full body workout 3 days a week I can follow, please? Ang, I have a whole playlist with several of them. Go to my free workouts playlist and look through there. I have multiple. They're all free. Jason, what do you think about channels that give you workouts to look like your favorite characters? That's complete clownery and nonsense. You're not going to look like someone else because you trained like them. Does Planet Fitness still do free pizza? Asking for a friend. I've never been into Planet Fitness in my life. I couldn't tell you. What exercise builds the most overall size? I'm going to go with the deadlift. On my days, off days in between the Monday, Wednesday, Friday, 5x5, I like to go in and do an hour-long workout with calisthenics and higher rep. Muscles I want to bring up faster. Is that too much? Yeah, it's too much. If you want to do conditioning work, do conditioning, but you shouldn't be doing serious resistance training. Do you ever use Captains of Crush hand grippers? Are they effective for forearm size? I own several pairs, and I'm going to agree with most other people. They don't seem to help with deadlift grip, so I quit using them. Hey, Jason, what's your thoughts on contrast training? I don't know what that means. I've injured my foot quite badly once after 15 years of training. How should I respond to family and friends who are concerned that I want to get back to training again? You tell them to mind their own business. Like, bro, why do people let other people influence your important decisions? Like, seriously, if a member of my family told me to not, they don't think I should power lift because I might hurt myself, I would look at them and say, why don't you go fuck yourself with an 18-inch rubber dick, break it off and beat yourself with what's left of it? Fuck you. That would be my response. See how easy that is? That ends it real quick. Like, don't let people boss you around just because they're family. But see, people who know me would never do that to me. They know how I am. Like, I'm nice up until you press my buttons, and then I fly off the handle. But that is literally how I would respond without even thinking about it. I would probably just blurt that out without even realizing what I said. No, I've never seen the buff dudes in person. What is the number one reason why you lift? For strength. I want to be inhumanly strong. I'll be moving soon and need to rent an apartment. I'd like to bring my home gym with me. Any tips on considerations for what to look for in an apartment for a smooth home gym transition? Make sure it's a ground floor. Is eating pork bad? I know the ancient Middle Eastern cultures used to avoid eating pigs. Why is that? Um, Pigs are nasty. That's why. I mean, I do some pork, but it's only like I don't like the taste of pork other than bacon or sausage, to be honest with you. Like straight up pork chops, I think taste like crap. Just my opinion. A pig is kind of a nasty animal, so that's why religions are like that. Hey Jason, your comment was rude and ignorant. Here's an article. No, Joshua, you're coming up with this bullshit. I'm sorry this is not going to stop the mercury poisoning. Hi Jason, I'm stalling with kettlebell training because of my grip. How do I get a stronger grip? Train your grip. Dead hangs, pull-ups. But here's the thing. What do you mean stalling in your kettlebell training? Kettlebells are a secondary exercise generally. They shouldn't be your primary training modality. Shouldn't be that big of a deal. JB, you still think the fastest way to get to a 500-pound squat is to join a serious gym where everyone squats 500 plus? Yeah, that will do it. I've noticed that grip strength can be highly specific. A gripper is not the same as holding to a deadlift. Yeah, absolutely. If you don't want to cut but are a little fluffy, can you still build muscle if you jack up protein while staying at the same weight? Recomposition? Nope. CN, quit trying to recomp. It's a waste of time. Bulk or cut. Trust me on this. Even if it's a small window of bulking and cutting of 8 to 10 pounds, stop trying to recomp. You're never going to reach your goals doing that. Coach, does elite lifters that don't need any more muscle should still do 5 by 10 on the big three things? How many elite lifters don't need any more muscle? Why wouldn't they need more muscle? Are they not trying to get stronger? Mohammed, how do you think you get stronger once you've maxed out your neural drive and your technique? By getting bigger, that's it. So if they have great technique and they already practice heavy work regularly, they will not get any stronger without hypertrophy. Okay, keep that in mind. So are they trying to improve? Hey Jason, what's your thoughts on bands? Do they build muscle? They can. Sorry, I meant to say contrast training example, a heavy set of squats followed straight after by a set of box jump to post activation potentiation. Immediately after? No. I mean, could you do box jumps after a squat workout? Sure. Could you do a set before? Sure. But after each set? No, it's going to fatigue you. It's going to affect your later sets too much. You're going to get less out of that. Do you think there's ever going to be a time as you move up in age when you are going to add more cardio for heart health? Ian, I already do cardio every day. Like how much cardio do you think I need to do? I think I do plenty of cardio. I don't want to become a marathon runner again. Like that's pretty much would be the next step would be for me to go from the amount of cardio I do every day to say, well, I want to run marathons. Well, I don't think that that's ideal for heart health. I don't think doing more than 2 to 3 hours of cardio a week is going to improve your heart health if you lift already. Personally, that's my opinion. We don't need to do 10 hours, 20 hours. It's not necessary. And I get at least 3 hours of cardio a week, if not more. Anybody remember the swole nerd? I miss the golden era, getting nostalgic sometimes. Yeah, I remember. Paul, one of my former clients. Hi, Jason. How are you doing? What is a good goal to shoot for dead hangs in terms of seconds? Since you weigh over 200 pounds, if you can do 30 seconds, you're good. Like if you can dead hang for 30 seconds at your body weight, you should have no trouble holding on to 500 plus pounds on the deadlift. If I were training the pause barbell bench press consistently, how much would it add to my regular bench 1 rep max? What do you mean? A pause is your 1 rep max. Your 1 rep max doesn't count unless it's paused. Coach, I just read your post about breaking some state records. Freaking awesome. What were the numbers you lifted? I posted the numbers up, Jeff. I posted the results. They weren't even that heavy. I'm going to break my own state records again at my next meet in a couple months. And then I'm going to go to Worlds. I've already qualified for Worlds, and I plan on breaking the deadlift world record this year for my class. Is there any way to, but I didn't even lift heavy. I walked in and did my 5 rep maxes and set state records with them. And then I quit because I just wanted to qualify for Worlds. Like the state records were a secondary consideration. They were just icing on the cake. My goal was to go to Worlds this year. Is there any way to fix my flat feet using special exercises? No, but you could talk to maybe an orthopedic surgeon or a podiatrist about that, but I don't think you can fix that. 2 hours of cardio a week is plenty for health. Yeah, Brian, I do more than that. Why was I not growing muscle doing push-pull legs 6 days a week? Because you were training too much and you weren't eating enough. Thanks for the Q&A. Lots of great knowledge here and looking forward to the next one. Yeah, I'll probably do one tomorrow. Hey, Coach, a break at work, but wanted to say what's up. What's going on, Paul? Do you think YouTube Fitness has gotten better or worse since you first started on here? Future, it was really bad when I started. The information was so terrible, and then it got better. And I don't know what it's like today because, again, I have not watched any YouTube Fitness in like 3 years. So I literally have no idea what the scene is like right now. And so when I say that, people think I'm joking or they're like, oh, he really watches it. No, I really don't. So I have absolutely no idea. Do you recommend doing dead hangs weighted, like with a dip belt loaded? I did that and I ended up pulling a muscle, doing them with over 100 pounds. I recommend just doing body weight for time. Coach, what's your take on supersetting pull-ups and dips after 5 through 1 top work sets for someone with limited gym time? I think that's a great method in that situation. I have prescribed that for clients, by the way. So that should tell you what I think about it. If I've prescribed it to clients, I probably think it's pretty good. Is 5'8" too short to be big and overall successful in life, career, social life? People are pretty mean about height, which is immutable characteristics. 5'8" is only 1 inch below the average height in America. Are you sure you're 5'8"? Like if you're really 5'8", people aren't going to notice that you're short. You might want to get that remeasured. I'm just being honest with you, bro. As an advanced lifter, I honestly walk about 10 miles a day, 5 days a week. Is that enough cardio? My lifting goals are now just to maintain strength. Dude, that's more than enough. Do you count front squats as a full set for upper back? No, it's a lower body exercise that helps work your T-spine a bit. Do you think the FAR, I don't know what that means. Should you bump up calories on base bulked off strength or based off the scale? You base it on the scale, bro. Johnny, if you're bulking and the scale stalls, you add calories. Just like when you cut, the same thing happens. Because if you're bulking, the scale is going to stall. Like I've had clients who started a bulk at 3,200 and eventually even at 3,500, they couldn't gain anymore. And they had to eventually go up to 4,000 plus to make any weight gain, even though they started a bulk at 3,200. Started a cut and went from hitting 145 kg on the deadlift for 10 last week to failing 152.5 today. I've only been losing half a pound a week. Is strength loss because of cut or maybe something else? It's fatigue management with your cut. You may be training too much. You may not be sleeping enough. You could have nutrient deficiencies. Go through and look at what you're doing and figure out where your weak link is. Thoughts on Hatfield squats? I don't really think about Hatfield squats. JB, why do you push slow cutting so much? Wouldn't it be a more aggressive cut to get your goals faster, be better when you go back to a bulk? Yeah, but you lose muscle easier. I don't know that it's worth it. Plus, it's hell on earth to fast cut. Like for someone like me, because again, I relate to people who are like me better, who have insane appetites. If we fast cut, we end up binging because we're so ravenously hungry and it ends up messing our cut up. Some channels on YouTube are really good. Usually they are specific. Squat University is kind of bad, actually. We all make fun of him in my coaching circles. He can't squat anything. And he obsesses over things that don't matter that much. That's just my opinion. That's what other coaches I know say. Hey, Paul, quit messaging me in Skype. You're in this channel. You're in the live stream. Stop. I'm going to turn Skype off so you can't message me. All right. So it quits popping up in the middle of my screen. I've been seeing a lot recently on Instagram where it becomes popular to make fun of people that say they have a fast. How does your Skype still popping up? I turned Skype off. I need to close this completely. Damn it. All right. I've been seeing a lot recently on Instagram where it's becoming popular to make fun of people that say they have a fast metabolism, tell them just eat more. Yeah, because it's true. They don't have a fast metabolism. That's been debunked. That's not actually true. They're just not eating enough. Coach, you have excellent knowledge of training, and the advice you give out of this world have been very helpful to me since I started Olympic weightlifting during the past year. Thank you, brother. I appreciate it. Interesting. Why are the state records so low in Texas? I don't know, because it's Masters too, Jeff, because of my age class. Even the world, it's not just Texas, it's the world records. I have pulled more than the world record in the gym. Right? The fitness scene today is so overcrowded, it's too difficult to determine its quality. And that's true. Jason, if your ebook takes off, you think you could be interviewed by Joe Rogan or some other mainstream platform? No idea. I don't even think that far. I don't worry about that stuff. Hi, Jason. I have hypermobile knees that cause an instability. It results in patellar tendon pain. Would knee sleeves help? Any other recommendations? Build your hamstrings up. Go up and answer my question, Jason. What is your, is 120 pounds max dumbbell press good at 150? Why are you maxing on dumbbell presses? You really want me to answer that? You're not going to like my answer. You shouldn't be maxing on dumbbell presses. Also, I know for a fact you're not doing a full range of motion based on your body weight. If you're using 125s, you're half repping it. What's the point? We use dumbbells because they get better range of motion. Yep. Squat University isn't good for strength. He's good for fixing injuries and stuff like that. But yeah, I wouldn't use him for strength advice, but physical therapy. Yeah, because he's a physical therapist. That's his job. But you shouldn't be getting strength advice from him. And that's where people mess up. Like I literally, if you followed his advice from what I've seen, you're going to be really weak at your squat if you take his stuff literally. You know, and he says some goofball stuff. The main thing is he said really goofy things like a 500 squat with perfect form is better than a 650 squat with some hip shift. Like that's sort of bullshit is what makes it clownery. Like that is literally as much clownery as my fake Merc stuff was. Like he should be made fun of for that as much as I was, because it's that bad. It's that level. You know, it's that level. What are the age limits for Masters 2? Masters 2 is 45 to 49. Heard some people say they get, I don't want to keep talking about Greg's diet advice. What do you consider full rep cause? I go all the way down and all the way up. Bond, upload the footage. But why are you maxing on dumbbells? Do you want to tear a pec off the bone? Is that your goal? I'm going to ask you very simply, Bonella. Is your goal to rip one of your pecs off the bone and have to have it surgically attached? That could, the only possible reason you would max on a dumbbell bench is because you said, fuck my pecs. I don't want to keep them. I want them to be ripped off the bone because I want to pay a surgeon a bunch of money. That is the only possible reason you would max on a dumbbell press. Okay. So let me ask you this question. Why do you want to hurt yourself? Why not use a barbell if you're going to max? You don't need a spotter with the barbell. Okay. You don't have to have it. Learn to bench correctly. You can fail a max bench if you set up correctly and bounce it to your lap and stand up and drop it on the floor. Dumbbells, you are way more likely to hurt. You shouldn't really be doing low reps at all. I don't recommend less than 10 reps with dumbbell presses. Hey, Jason, what exercise would you recommend for a weak midpoint bench? Get your pecs stronger, which could mean more benching. Like if you're sticking in the middle, the bench press itself will help you a lot. Just doing more pause benching with a wide grip. Floor presses, those would be good for that. But it's a pec weakness. Is there any benefit to using the leg press for more quad volume after squats? Yes, I prescribe that to some clients. When I squat with a bar a little higher, I feel myself tip forward at below parallel. What can you say what my weak link most likely is? Your low back. I'm currently 160 pounds. Am I too lean to main gain? You can't main gain. Ang, I'm about to ban you. I know there's only going to be a few minutes left, but I've said like 10 times you can't main gain. It doesn't work. And you keep asking me about it. I think you're a troll. Sigma male. Sigma male is just another code term for beta males who want to use another word because they don't want to admit they're betas. Is a 330 bench at 120 pounds body weight, 20 potted? I mean, go look at strength charts. It's all relative. Vanilla wants to get them Adobe Physique pec tear gains. Yep. We watched Adobe Physique rip his pec off the bone doing that, didn't we? On YouTube, right there on YouTube. And he did it with barely more weight than this guy's using. JB, I know you don't watch YouTube Fitness, so here you're going to ask me a question about it. But I remember you speaking about the barbell logic channel. Any recent thoughts on this? Cliff, here's the problem with that. I don't know what they're doing today. So do you see the problem with your question? If I haven't watched anything they've said in years, I don't know what their current stance is on anything. So I don't have a current stance. Their stuff was good 4 or 5 years ago. They had some good material. I don't know if their material is good today. For all I know, they could be preaching that you need to build your quads with leg extensions and not squat. Or they could be telling you to go vegan. Because I don't know what they do anymore. So I can't endorse someone based on what they were saying 5 years ago. Or I can't denounce someone based on what they were saying 5 years ago. If I don't know what they're saying today, that's not fair. Deadlift 531, boring but big, like Lane's mom, plus 3 sets of GHR on squat day, enough for hammies for the baddies. Maybe. If you're also, the deadlifting added in might be enough. I'd like to see 5 sets of GHR. Oh, snap, just saw your medal. Is that gold? Yeah, it's gold. I'll get a gold at Worlds too. Matt Winning stated in his last video that 10 sets per muscle group are for maintenance and thereby implies that we need more volume to grow. I completely disagree. The research disagrees. There have been some studies that showed nearly maximum muscle growth off 5 sets a week. There have been plenty of studies that showed that for some people, 10 sets gave maximum growth and going more actually reduced growth for some people, some advanced lifters. So how could that possibly be true? The data disagrees. Study after study after study confirms that large amounts of hypertrophy can be obtained with 10 sets a week. So how could he possibly be right in light of all of the data saying otherwise? And in light of all the people out there who trained at those volumes and who are big and strong. So how is that even possible? Jason, any Hindu clients? I know some of them are vegetarian, at least don't eat beef. Can they make? No, I have some Sikh clients. I've only had one Hindu, and she still ate dairy, so it's fine. Dairy. If you're eating dairy, you're fine without meat. Does strength training help with unhealthy high blood pressure? Yes. JB, any health benefits you've noticed since you've cut down from 240? Massive benefits. I breathe better. I feel better. My sleep apnea is gone. I feel better overall. My blood pressure is lower again. It's down in the normal range. Do you have any current supplements or vitamins you would say are essential to take? Yeah, fish oil and creatine are probably essential. And that's for health purposes. It's not even about your gains. 5 sets of GHR, coach. Maybe I'll change that. Are massages good for recovery? Maybe. Congrats on the win, JB. How thick was the field in your class at the meet? It wasn't. I'm in a higher age class, man. There's not that many competitors. Like, and if they are, most of them are weak. I mean, most guys are just not strong anymore after 45. They're not pulling 600 plus pounds like you guys have seen me do. Right? I mean, Jeff, you've seen me pull 600 pounds several times with calibrated plates at over age 45. Like, that's not that common, especially considering I compete under 200 pounds when I water cut. Right? I'm competing in the 198. Sorry, Jason. I thought you couldn't main gain at too low. No, you can't main gain at all. I like Matt winning, but some of the stuff he says is off. Like Michael Hearn is natty. Yeah, exactly. Wait, Michael Hearn is natty. He says he's natty. That's how the internet works. If someone tells you they're natty, then you know they're natty, right? That's the rule. Even when all evidence would suggest otherwise. I have found in my experience that going from 18 sets a week, 6 days a week, to 12 sets or less, 4 days a week made me way better. Yep. JB, what's the lightest body weight you would let a 6-foot intermediate client cut down to? Maybe 190. Hi, Jason's women's body part wish you like the most legs. I'm a leg man. What cookie cutter novices would you recommend? It's still your Ice Cream Fitness 2.0 or my 1.0 or starting strength or strong lifts. I think strong lifts itself is good for noobs. Hey, Jason, thoughts on jogging for cardio, jump rope? Thanks. I think those are both good. Actually, I think jump rope is great cardio. In terms of just impact and everything on your joints, it's probably better than jogging. I don't think you can go wrong with jump rope for cardio. I mean, it's time proven, it's low impact, it works. Are you having any minor injuries or pain weakness as you head to your next meet? Right now, I am completely pain free. And even though my bench regressed and stuff from rehabbing my shoulder from that injury, my shoulder is now pain free. Everything is pain free. I'm feeling pretty good. And I'll put my next meet up before I do it because I don't mind people showing up at this one. It is going to be here in Texas, and I'm obviously going to do Worlds also, which everyone already knows where that is in the date. So I want to compete every 12 weeks from now on indefinitely. It's going to be my goal. Is going to be about every 12 weeks for the next few years to step on a platform and compete. And my goal will be to PR from meet PRs every time. So that's why I'm not maxing out at these meets. I'm trying not to max because I want to leave runway. I want to PR every time I step on a platform. All right, for the next 2 or 3 years. So over the course of 10 or 12 meets, I want to PR every time. But I'll make it public. But it's actually going to be in Dallas. I've already bought the meet registry. I've already booked my hotel. I've already booked my flight for it. I know this is gross, but I've heard that bugs are a good protein source. That's a bunch of Illuminati New World Order propaganda, dehumanizing bullshit. There's my conspiracy side coming out. I do a lot of sprints and hitting the heavy bag in a superset format with 30-second rests in between rounds. It's pretty brutal. Yeah, that's pretty intense. But you know what? That's actually pretty good cardio, right? Like sprinting and working a heavy bag is actually really good GPP. Heavy bag work is good GPP. You can get in shape definitely working a heavy bag. You're sick. Love from the UK. Thanks, brother. JB, thanks for answering my question. I'll continue taking your advice, especially around how I can get my stubborn biceps to grow. All right, I'm going to take maybe one more question, and then we're going to wind this down, guys. Jason, on 531, boring but big deadlift day, if trying conventional deadlift for main lift, do you see any benefits or issues using RDL for the 5x10 sets instead of conventional? Yes, you will gain less muscle from it. That's the downside. All right, guys. So I hope you guys have enjoyed this. I hope it's been informative. I love all of you guys now. And sorry, I'm still seeing questions come through. It's getting me tongue-tied. I love you guys, and I'll talk to you guys next time.